Today's proceedings. This is a hybrid hearing being held in person in the main conference room of the State Building Codes Division at 1535 Edgewater Street Northwest, Salem, Oregon, and virtually over Zoom. This hearing is being recorded to maintain a permanent record. Today is June 22nd, 2022, and the time is approximately 2:30 p.m. This is the time and place set for a public rulemaking hearing to make public comment on amendments to OAR 918-695-0030. This rule amends the minimum training and experience requirements to sit for the Journeyman Plumber's examination, which will expand the qualified applicant pool by including applicants from programs and apprenticeships that may have been precluded by previous requirements. Notice for today's hearing was filed with the Secretary of State's office on May 12th, 2022, and was published in the June 2022 Oregon Bulletin. This hearing will be conducted according to the Oregon Administrative Procedures Act, ORS Chapter 183, and the Attorney General's Model Rules. The division will review issues raised during the public hearing and will consider all written and oral submissions. No responses to questions will be made at this time. In addition to the opportunity to present oral comments at this hearing, anyone may submit written comments until Friday, June 24th, 2022 at 5 p.m., which is the close of the public comment period. No other comments or exhibits will be accepted after this date unless the division extends the public comment period for everyone. Before beginning your testimony, please state your name, address, and affiliation, if any, for the record. If you have written statements, please provide them to me so they may be properly marked as exhibits and made a part of the record. We are, regardless of anybody testifying, we're going to hold the meeting open until at least 2:42 today, and I will begin taking comments now. All right, Curtis Gillette, go ahead and state your full name and affiliation for the record and provide your comment.
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
I can. Go ahead.
Perfect. My name's Curtis Gillette. I'm with the UA Local 290. I'm the plumbing program coordinator and IATMO member, and do a lot of code training here at 290. And so I just had a couple of comments I wanted to make after reading the policy. So I see that we're going to change the academic training requirement from 4 years to a flat total of 576 hours. And then that's it. So what's to prevent somebody from making up credit for on-the-job training and coming to Oregon and taking and becoming a journeyman license without true verification of their training?
We're just taking comment right now, but if you want to circle up.
Okay, I'm sorry, then I'll make the comment of that I'm concerned about the requirements being made to take the plumbing test. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Curtis.
My name is Jack Ford. I'm an attorney in Portland, Oregon. You need another, I signed up on the information as far as address.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd just like to make a comment. I'm here representing a client who submitted an application. The client is out of state to take the Journeyman's plumber examination and was denied based upon qualifications of the OAR that's being considered to be amended. In particular case, my client has been a plumber for over 43 years, has license in 25 states. All this information was submitted to the, with respect to his application, has thousands of hours with regard to substantiating for his application to be able to be qualified to take the exam, but was not, his application was not accepted due to not having attended 4 years of academic training or other thing and I think it's the, can't remember, 918 something rather is the OAR as far as the qualifications. And this particular rule that basically did not allow him just to be able to sit has more than has demonstrated and the information he submitted to the state has more than experience to qualify. It doesn't give him the license. It just allows him to be able to sit to take it. Yet he was denied because he has not been in Oregon in essence for a number of years getting academic training. And it's, to me, appears to be highly discriminatory. And the rule that's being proposed, if approved and if adopted and comes into play, will allow him, he will be resubmitting the application. And I do believe, based upon his historical experience and years of the hours of year that he's put in, would allow him to then, quote, be qualified to take it. Doesn't mean he's going to get a license. He has to still have to take the license, has to take the examination. So I think the proposed rule addresses concerns based upon what information has to be submitted to support, in this situation, his application, which previously, under the current OARs, disqualified him without having to, in essence, spend years in the state of Oregon going to school.
Thank you. Lou Christian?
All right, Lou Christian, are you able to hear me?
Hear you well.
All right, Lou Christian, business manager for plumbers and steam fitters, local 290. I do have some concerns that I will raise. I'll also be submitting written statements with these questions. It's would have been nice to be able to get answers in this meeting rather than have to wait for them. So my questions are, how will hours be verified that they are actually trade related and actually plumbing related if this is going to be put in place? There's no provisions in that I saw that say how this is going to be verified and who will be the people who will actually be verifying. So the second question I have, we have a UPC based code in Oregon, and the licensing is around that. Is the I-code states and areas, is that going to be counted as time for our plumbing license, which is under the UPC code with the Oregon amendments? So looking for apples to apples here, we want to make sure that we are bringing in people who are qualified, that have the experience. This is what this appears to be doing. But if we're going to use this system, they need to be qualified in the code that we are using in Oregon. based on and using in Oregon. So would have that question. And I am also a member of IAPMO. I forgot to mention that at the beginning. So those were two of my questions. I have very, very much concerns on how these hours are going to be verified. So looking for more information to be able to respond back to with this very serious issue. We're talking about protecting the health of Oregon, and we've done a very good job under our current system. And I want to make sure that we're not putting in loopholes that are going to lower the quality of the plumbers and the plumbing and the safety of our members of the state of Oregon, our people that we serve. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, Lou. I have Brad Seneca.
I'm Brad Seneca with the City of Hillsborough and IAPMO. And I'd just like to add to Lou's comments. In addition to their hours and the verification of that, how are we going to verify the equivalence of the academic requirements? Is that online courses they can take, or what's that going to look like? So I'm looking forward to seeing more information on that. That's it. Thank you.
Thanks, Brad. Jeff. Sorry, my chat went away. Jeff McGilvray.
Yeah, I thank you for letting me speak. I'd just like to, echo what the other. I'm Jeff McGilvery. I'm with UA Local 290 as well, and I would just like to, my concerns here would be on the verification of the hours and the education, and I would also ask that the board looks back before any decisions are made and look at the reason this was put in the first place years ago, and that was before my time as a licensed plumber, but from my understanding, it was due to the qualifications and quality of the workers coming in. So that would be my concern. I know we're in a worker shortage, but lowering the standards, I don't believe would be the best way to go about fixing that problem. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Jeff. Drew Waits.
My name is Drew Waits. I'm a business agent for Local 290, the Plumbers and Steamfitters Union down in Southern Oregon. And my comment is, it took me 5 years and a lot of schooling hours to get this license and a lot of hard work. And it just seems sad that we're lowering our standards just to bring other people in. So hopefully we won't lower the standards, we won't dilute our license, and they'll make the right decision. Thank you.
Thanks, Drew. All right, this has been an active hearing, so before I close it down, I want to go ahead and give a last call in case there's anybody else. There we are. Curtis, go ahead.
Yeah, Curtis Gillette with Local 290 Plumbing Program Coordinator again. And along the same lines about the verification of hours, I thought that maybe that we would put some wording in that the person from out of state would need to be a licensed plumber, and then the state of Oregon could look at their background, and if they went through a 3-year apprenticeship program to get that license, then they could put in double the OJT hours or verification of to cover the gap and meet our requirements. And that's was my initial concern, is I didn't see any wording even along that line on this document. And so that would be my comment as well, that I'm not opposed to this, but we really need to get some established foundation on and still be able to get a qualified plumber into the state. And like Lou said, we need to have some concerns about if they're even learned on the UPC code. And the code differences would allow a very good plumber to come into the state of Oregon, but still not be able to understand what and why we're doing what we're doing. And so again, there's a reason this was put into place and having requirements, and I'm not opposed to that. I just like to, again, be able to verify and document and also let us know who would be in that decision-making process. Thank you very much for letting me speak.
Thanks, Curtis. Brad?
Yeah, I understand this is kind of to help out with our workflow shortage of journeymans. I'm kind of curious if this will segue into the ratio requirements of the journeyman to apprentice. I know that was another discussion, so I'm just kind of interested to see if this change of statutes will affect that or not. Thank you.
Thanks, Brad. Okay, anyone else either in the room or online want to make any additional comments? I am not seeing anyone. In that case, once again, written testimony will be accepted until this Friday, June 24th, 2022 at 5 p.m. No other comments or exhibits will be accepted after this date. The time is approximately 2:48 p.m. And this concludes the public hearing. Thank you everyone for attending today's hearing and providing comments and testimony.